This is the Albuquerque Business Podcast with your host, Jason Rigby. Each week, we interview leading local business leaders to inspire the vision and spirit that is in every entrepreneur, discussing strengths, weakness, strategies, systems, and the problems we can all solve together to fulfill a shared vision of a new future for Albuquerque.
Hi, and welcome to Albuquerque Business Podcast. This is Jason Rigby, your host. Today, we're going to kind of get into guys DMing you inappropriately. I like starting off like straight off the bat because that's always like, what's going on? And then we're going to get into starting a podcast and having a local business. I have Jazmine here today.
Hi.
Yeah. And I want to start off with who you are. So what is your Instagram?
jv.trujillo, Trujillo.
So I encourage people, because we said the first part about the inappropriate DMs. Mm-hmm. So I was encouraging people because you do a lot of fitness and fashion.
Yeah.
And I have friends of mine that do the same, whether it's guys or girls or whatever. And there's always this whole other dark side.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That goes into it. But mainly, what do you do here in Albuquerque?
So I'm a real estate broker at Rock Real Estate Partners.
Okay.
But, you know, again, my social media is like fitness, food, fashion.
And do you kind of like one of the main things on the fitness side of things, are you going to be competing or?
I do plan on competing next year. They actually just added a new wellness division. So that's something that I've been looking into a lot. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So what is, like, for people that don't know wellness, what is that?
Wellness division. It's just like, there's different categories like bikini, physique, figure. So it's just another category. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so how, you said you go to the gym twice a day?
Yeah. Sometimes I do 2 days. Not
that's crazy.
Constant, but I do try.
Yeah, that's nuts. And so you're wanting to start a podcast because that's what the whole episode's about. You're wanting to start a podcast and you're wanting to do it about mainly real estate and your life.
Yeah, kind of just lifestyle. I kind of want to touch on a little bit of everything. Again, like I could sum up my life in a whole 5 categories. So I kind of want to touch on everything: social media, fitness, fashion, food, you know, starting a podcast, being an entrepreneur, real estate.
Now, do you like, as far as this podcast, are you wanting, because we're going to get into like steps, because I want, you know, of course, this is all for local business owners.
Yeah.
So I want to walk them through the different steps, and that's what I'm going to do with you on having a successful podcast.
Okay.
But so like, what is your audience? Who do you want to focus on? Figured that out yet? Because I'm asking her questions and we didn't rehearse any of this, guys.
No, you caught me off guard. No, honestly, I feel like I have a lot of good content to put out there, a lot of, you know, shit that nobody else says or nobody else talks about.
Right.
So I definitely want to touch on a lot of different things.
And then, but it's mainly like you want to say, you know, I'm a real estate agent.
Yes.
I'm here for you. But then also, here's my life. Here's where I'm at.
Yeah.
What I like about you is you're really straightforward.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you're going to do well in the podcast arena because that's what people are looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't mind telling it like it is.
Uh-huh.
And so like when you're thinking of things like for your podcast, are you thinking of things like inappropriate DM things? And then why the hell are you DMing me and you want to rant about that? Are they like rants? Like you're pissed off at something? Or
I kind of think about a little bit of everything. I mean, yeah, it does kind of piss me off a little bit whenever I have, you know, some guy sending me dick pics and then, you know, threatening me because I'm not responding or,
no, you actually had people like send a picture of you.
Yeah, I've actually had like literal stalkers. Like I've had people send me pictures of myself leaving the gym, of me driving on the freeway, and I'm like, do you know how scary that is as a female by herself, like going home, like wondering who the heck is following me.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's insane. It's a little scary for sure.
Yeah, so if we have any stalkers out there listening, you can just click off right now.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, do not follow her.
I mean, you know, I have a lot of friends in law enforcement, so.
There you go. That's perfect. Yeah, especially here in Albuquerque. Yeah, they will. They don't have any issues. We got the whole. A lot of people don't know it that are people from here know it, but there's like a whole war zone.
And,
yeah. So it's pretty legit.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Like in Seattle, where I'm from, people can go like years without taking their gun out, and then it's like an everyday occurrence here.
Albuquerque is a whole different ballgame.
It's the wild, wild west. That's what makes it so cool. So mainly, is it now when you're thinking of an audience, obviously you're going to attract guys. You know that. All fitness people, you know, I mean, that's what guys look at most of the time. So you're going to have those. Then you're going to have douchebags in there.
Yeah.
And then you're going to turn around and women that are aspiring maybe to get motivation for the gym.
Yeah.
So the fashion side of things, what is that? Is there what interest do you have in that?
Oh, fashion. I love fashion. I love like keeping up with all of like the latest trends. I love, I'm so extra. Like, I'm not even like
so you're talking like spring collections come out.
Yeah, I love all of it.
Go on YouTube and watch the runway shows.
I love it. I love Fashion Week. I love all of the new stuff that comes out. I love all of like the quirky like little odds and ends. Like I love stuff that I can just throw together that other people won't wear. Like,
I always thought, I've never seen this, and maybe you have, because I do a lot of like looking on social media all the time, just because of my company. But I've seen like the runway videos. It would be so cool if somebody would, YouTube has licensing things, so you can't, like if Chanel's doing, like winter collection, you can't sit there and show that, but you can do like a commentary on it.
Yeah.
That would be really cool if somebody would like sit there and do a whole.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, I always wait for the bloopers. I'm like the horrific guy that likes the girl that falls.
You're just waiting for somebody to eat shit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I just like people falling. When I fall, I laugh. Yeah. I hit the glass the other day.
Oh, no.
Coming out of Smith's and smashed up a pair of glasses. It was funny.
No, I've done that.
And I looked around and I was like, hopefully somebody's laughing. That was hilarious.
No, I was like, did someone get that on tape? Like, no, I'm so used to getting like the door like being like automatic or having someone open the door for me that I was like walking. This is how much of a millennial I am, because I was like walking on my phone, not paying attention. I was waiting for the door to open and boom, I just ran straight into it.
I almost tapped into a guy's bumper the other day. Because I was looking at my phone real quick, and I
love the honesty. I was on my phone. Yep.
So have you ever fell in heels?
No, I actually just got asked that the other day.
Like all the time. Like,
I'm in heels every single day. I don't know. I'm in heels every single day. So, I mean, I've actually, somebody just asked me that the other day. They're like, have you ever ate shit? And I'm just like, no, I've stumbled. Right. I've definitely stumbled.
Done the whole,
yes, but I've always caught myself. So knock on wood.
But not to wear like heels, like, because I've seen, it's funny. It's like you go to Vegas or whatever. And it's like white girl wasted. And
like know where you're gonna go. Know your venue. Know your venue. I'm like, dude, if I'm going somewhere where like I know I'm gonna be walking a lot, like no,
they should have like a heel you can take off. Like a little, like it's like a click.
That's a good
thing.
Invention. Yeah, don't tell nobody that. Let's edit this out so I can come up with it.
Yeah, you just pop it off and then you can wear like flats.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, if it was cute, I mean, I don't know.
That'd be the problem.
Yeah, I'm like, if it isn't cute, I don't know if I'd wear it.
Yeah, that would be weird looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? So there would be people that would buy it. Think it's utilitarian. Or you could rent them out in Vegas or something. I don't know. But we're digressing. Besides that, so when we look at a podcast and we're starting a podcast, and I know that's something that everybody looks at and thinks like, we're in a radio studio. These are $500 mics.
Yeah.
And he's got voice processors and all that stuff. And people think that they need to go out and rush and buy a shitload of equipment and spend $2,000. When literally, and I would put it in the show notes, there's a microphone. I think it's like an off-brand in China or whatever, but I actually bought it and I still have it. And I use it all the time when I do my little episodes, my Marketing Minute episodes at my house. But it's like $50 or $60. And it has a windscreen on it. And then there's a program that I'll put in the show notes too that you can purchase, and it takes all like the noise out. Do you have like a closet or a small room that you can use?
Yeah, I have an office that I do plan on using. Yes.
Okay, cool. Because like people get like big echoes. So I know people that are, I think, who was it? Ed Milet or somebody who uses a closet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. Like he has it was somebody real famous, Steve Wetford or somebody that actually uses a closet for their podcast. They just took a little closet in their house and turned it into, because you want to make sure, first thing is get a microphone, have a laptop, a desktop. You have that?
Yeah.
And then from there, it's a USB microphone. So it hooks to your computer.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
It plug and plays like right off the bat. And then it has the mic thing. If you're going to like have people and interview them and all that, depending if you want to be portable, then there's Zoom recorders that you can buy, and they're a couple $100. Okay. And then you can hook lapel mics into them that are like a dual lapel. Now the Zoom recorder holds like an SD card in it. And so literally you can, and it's very small. no one can see us, but yeah, it's probably like 8 inches around there and real small, like 8 by 4 or something like that.
Okay.
But it holds an SD card in it, and it has little meters, and you can adjust. It's like a little tiny mini board. And that you can use, and then it's extremely portable. And then getting into the big setups where you could have different cords and power mics like these, you know.
Yeah.
But are you looking at, because you had said that you know a lot of business people.
Yeah.
Are you looking at interviewing like fitness people, business people, fashion people?
Depends on the topic, but yes, I do know a lot of business owners here in Albuquerque that I would love to sit down and talk with.
Like, because you seem like you're very outspoken and very forward, like in a good way.
Yeah.
Would they be willing to go on a podcast that was that way?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay, cool.
A lot of the people that I associate with are kind of like the same way that I am.
Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like it'd be good.
Yeah. Because some people like that. Some people don't.
Yeah. I'm not for everyone again. Yeah, I'm well aware that, you know, I rub some people the wrong way and that's fine.
But I mean, I think you in real estate, especially, you would want somebody that would be strong.
You would think.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want somebody, and I think that's the biggest rub that I've had in real estate is like you get a real estate agent, you know, and a lot of people will use a woman over a man. I think a lot of times. I don't know if that's true or not. But is it 50-50?
Yeah, I think it's like, I think it's like 50-50.
I've always used a woman just because I felt like they would know more about houses and stuff. Okay. Like guys would know the technical side, but they're not going to be concerned about if the sun shines in, you know, when these big windows.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
So they seem to be more nurturing, you know, like, and be more like, know the house more.
Yes,
you know,
that makes
like
sense.
The rooms and stuff. So what I hate is like these part-time, like super part-time people that are always busy and they never have time and they're late to show you the house and all that stuff. And then you go to, you know, put out an offer and they don't have that ability to be able to close, or you just don't feel like they're going to work for you and be assertive. You know, so there's that.
They're not
part.
adding any value to you.
Right. Yeah. As a business owner, I know I need to go in and I have to have a certain amount of strength. If I'm, you know, because I'm going to have clients test me. I had one the other day, tried to use a weakness that I had with something that was going on with another business that I had, and he wanted to negotiate the contract. But I had to call him out. I was like, you're using this weakness right now.
Yeah.
Here's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You heard about this. So you decided to come to me to try to negotiate price, not care about me. We have a relationship. You're the client. So at the end of the day, I don't need to be in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not afraid to walk away from a table.
Yeah.
In real estate, I think that's important.
I think that you kind of need that. It's definitely a balance of, you know, again, because you're building relationships. So it's definitely having that balance of being assertive, but also not taking shit from anyone, because you can't, it's easy to get walked over. So
by clients.
From finding that balance.
Right. So when you're finding, like, what type of customer are you trying to attract on your real estate side?
For real estate?
A perfect customer, what would they look like?
A perfect customer, I definitely... Like, again, I just got started in real estate this year. So I actually got my license on my 23rd birthday in July.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm fairly new. But a perfect client. I don't think there's ever been one ever.
No, perfect client. Right.
But I do like to focus on high-end real estate, luxury real estate, and land for sure. Okay.
So so that type of client would go well with your podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you're talking about fashion and stuff like that. You would have a lot of, you know, like married couples and stuff like that. A lot of people moving out of Albuquerque.
Yeah.
I don't know what percentage of Albuquerque's high end. I would imagine, you know, Louisiana's number 1, New Mexico's number 2 for being the poorest states. You know, so I think that's very niche-y, very, very small.
Yeah.
But whenever I go to, let me grab my phone. I wanted us to do this. I don't know if you can, do you have your phone?
Yeah.
You have an Apple phone?
Yes.
Oh, can you go to, do you have the iTunes podcast downloaded? We're going to do this right now because I think it would be cool.
Oh, wait, iTunes? I lied.
I mean, not iTunes.
Is it Apple Music?
Yeah, it's the podcast. You have the little
thing. Possibly.
This is being so go to YouTube.
Okay.
And then I will go on this one because I want to show people something in that I think they need to do right off the bat before they have a podcast.
Okay.
Are you on YouTube?
Yes.
Type in Albuquerque Real Estate Podcast. 70% of people listen to podcasts through the Apple podcast. The other is Spotify now. You know, your generation's younger.
Yeah.
You have a Spotify.
Yeah, I have Spotify.
Yeah, and so Spotify has podcasts on it, and Pandora does too.
Oh, wow. These are all from like a long time ago.
Yeah, what are this is YouTube.
Yeah, this is on YouTube.
And there's nothing on there?
I mean,
is there any current?
No. Like 4 years ago, 6 months ago, 5 months ago, 10 months ago.
Is there anybody like that looks like they're being consistent, dominating?
Maxwell, I believe. I'm seeing a lot of his stuff.
Or something?
I don't know. I'm seeing
like the early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of his stuff. No one that's like really standing out.
So I mean that's now type in go on to search again and type in Albuquerque. Let's do this one. This one would be really interesting. Let's type in Albuquerque fitness and let's bypass all the commercials from gyms that are cheesy.
Oh,
with the drones flying over.
Oh, okay. So
is there anybody doing, or is there an Albuquerque fitness podcast?
No. There's workouts, but that's about it.
Yeah, a lot of people post their workouts.
Yeah, that's about it.
Type in Albuquerque fashion podcast. Because these are all the things that you're going to rank on. That's
got a lot of good stuff. That's why.
Albuquerque fashion.
Oh, yeah. 3 years ago, a year ago, 4 years ago, 7.
So you know when you do your podcast that you have a wide open field here in Albuquerque. And there's almost 1 million people here. And no one's doing anything. That's why when I started the Albuquerque Business Podcast, there was no one literally. Oh, I'm like, no one's doing it on business and business leaders.
Well, you know, I get a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people that have said, you know, like, oh, I want to move out of the state, and there's no room for growth here, and Albuquerque, whatever. You know, all the negative bullshit to say about Albuquerque. I'm from Albuquerque, born and raised. But for me, whenever I look at Albuquerque, I'm like, they're like, okay, if you can't make it in Albuquerque, in a small town, what in the fuck makes you think that you're gonna go to somewhere like Los Angeles or wherever and make it big? Like, you can't even make it here, and you're from here. You know people here. What makes you think you're gonna go out of state and make it big? You know?
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were into. It was a guy, and he was doing modeling here in Albuquerque, and he said that he was going to move to Vegas because there's more photo shoots available there, and then he was going to go to LA, of course. And I look him up online, and it's like, you're not doing any work here. So what does that make you when now you're going to go to Vegas, and what's going to end up happening? You're going to, I mean, I hate to say this, but you're going to be a male dancer or something. You're not going to put in the time or effort. If you're not doing it now where you're at. And
there's so much room for opportunity and growth in Albuquerque because no one's doing shit. Nobody. There is a handful of people here that are doing shit, and you know who they are because it's that few. Like, everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows who owns this and who owns that and who bought this land because it's that small. And there's only a handful of people running shit in Albuquerque.
Oh yeah.
So there's so much room for opportunity and growth. But like everybody, especially these days, they want everything at the snap of their fucking fingers because they're used to getting everything, you know, so fast that they're not used to putting that work in for stuff. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. These people didn't get there overnight. Like, you actually have to put work in. You have to be consistent. And I think that that's something that a lot of people don't understand, or they're just not.
No, and that's something I always tell a friend of mine. He had a podcast, and he did it for 4 years with hardly anything. And then it just took off like crazy. And then he ended up, you know, interviewing David Goggins and Tony Robbins and all these people now. And so now he makes $40,000-$50,000 a month just podcasting. Yeah. But he put in 4 years of hard grinding, and he had to believe in it when a lot of times he wanted to quit.
Yeah, you have to be your number one fan at the end of the day because, you know, there's not always going to be people in your corner cheering you on or people that believe in you. Like, you need to believe in yourself that you're capable of whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah, and that's something because you're going to have people they're going to tell you shouldn't do this. Yeah. You shouldn't do that.
And I've had people tell me that where they're like, well, are you sure you don't want to like grow your following a little bit more? Are you sure you don't want to do this? And I'm like, well, when is the right time? You know? So I'm like, now's the right time. I'm ready to get going. And I know exactly what I want to do. And I think that's important is having a plan and knowing what you want to do and just executing to like full extent. You have to, I think, so the CEO of our company, his name is Ramon. Whenever I first got into real estate, he's like, are you going to do this, you know, full-time, part-time? I told him full-time. And he's like, you know, it's something that you have to completely submerge yourself in to, you know, be able to get everything you can get out of it. And I think that's true in anything, of course, you know, and I don't think people understand that. They give a little bit here and, you know, they're not getting the result that they want and they just give up or they quit. Right. And that's why they're not successful.
But I enjoy that because then it's very few people that are actually.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love that shit.
I encourage that. Yeah. Go ahead. Start a. I talk to people all the time. It's like, go ahead, start a podcast because the average podcast lasts like a couple months.
Yeah. They don't stick with it because they're so used to like getting things like that. And that when it doesn't happen, they just give up.
Right.
And that's where they go wrong. That's,
exactly.
That's where they mess up.
A lot of things that, I mean, you already have that whole what you want.
Yes.
I mean, obviously you have the ability to be able to talk. I mean, you're doing that now. You're not nervous. No. This is like your first time.
Yeah, this is my first podcast.
You already have, so you already have that. So you're good that way. You already know people.
Yes.
So you probably could do 10 shows.
Yeah.
You know, so the next thing I encourage you to do is get the equipment and then turn around. When you think of ideas, like you said, when you're driving, you think of ideas.
That's like always when it comes to me is when I'm driving and like I can't do shit.
I just put the voice memo on the front on the Apple's voice memo.
Yeah.
And then I just record, okay, podcast, I will be doing this, and then use that. And then I have it saved.
Yeah.
Because I really don't want to miss a thought. Because that thought, I've had thoughts like that where I've like, oh shit, this would be like it's like when I approached you and then you said that you were, starting a podcast. I was like, oh shit, that would be like a great show.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't understand what you can have happen. And the biggest thing that can happen when you start a podcast is you become an expert in that niche. Like right now, we just found out there's not anybody doing there could be somebody that could do Albuquerque fitness, Albuquerque fashion, and Albuquerque real estate. There's not a lot of people doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, at the most, there's one or two consistently doing it. There's not even any at all.
Yeah. Well, and I know that from what I've researched, I couldn't find anybody my age with my view on things, I guess, that's actually doing it. And I know that there's a lot of things that I think or believe that isn't being said or that isn't being putting out there, but that other people believe or other people think the exact same thing. It's just not out there. The content isn't out there.
Especially your generation, because they said 24% of millennials you're younger than a millennial, right? You're the next one below that.
I'm like borderline, I think, somewhere between Gen X and like millennial.
Yeah, but they were saying that 24% of people are listening to podcasts now, which is a huge amount.
Podcasts are huge now. Huge. And nobody, again, I have not found anybody, especially here in Albuquerque, New Mexico even, that are doing this and touching on these different topics. So I'm excited to get started on that.
Yeah, and literally it's a $50 mic. It's a $5 a month on Libsyn. Yeah. It's probably about the biggest one. I think it's Libsyn. You could type it in, and that's where everybody puts their podcast in. And it takes, the longest thing is putting the show notes in.
Okay.
Like, other than that, uploading the MP3 file, super simple.
Yeah.
Uploading your artwork, you have to make like a little square, which you can do that on Canva for free.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, canva.com. You can make your own, or you can go to Fiverr. I want a lot of people to know this. You can go to Fiverr and pay somebody like 10, 15, $20, and they will make you a real professional one.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've done on mine.
Cool.
So, mine look pretty cool. I got an Albuquerque Business Podcast. I got,
I've seen it.
Of Albuquerque, whatever. It's older. I probably need to update it, but yeah, and that was very inexpensive. If you want an intro and outro, those are like $30-$40.
Yeah.
If you want like music and a professional, like I have on the Albuquerque Business Podcast, I had a lady do that one. And then we had like a AI robot do the higher density living, because it's more like future oriented shit. But for me, I looked at it and said, what other advertising can I do where this literally is just costing a little bit of time? It's the same with social media. Social media could be free.
Yeah.
Just posting.
I love social media. It is like, it's the best. I love social media. It's a platform.
Right.
And it's free.
Yeah.
And it's advertisement.
I want to encourage people. I don't know the technical parts, but everybody looks at, there's this new app called Anchor where you can do podcasts for free.
Okay.
But I need to check into it a little bit more, and I'll put this in the show notes if I'm wrong, but I think they control your content if you have it, So we're like Libsyn, they're just broadcasting it to, but like Libsyn will, like you'll have to open up a free account with Apple. So it goes on there, Google Music, because people have Android phones. You have to open an account with them. And then you want to link your Facebook, your Twitter, your LinkedIn is really important. And then whenever you can, I even have it. They have like a ton of them. So the number one podcast in Germany platform is called Deezer. Okay. I don't know. So I hooked to that one. I was like, maybe somebody in Germany will.
Might as well.
Albuquerque Business Podcast is ranking number 4 for marketing in Albania. But I have no idea why. All my Albanian fans. I don't know. I have no idea why, but you'll see like weird things, like different countries. You'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Today I typed in how to start a podcast, and I was listening to one on the way over here just to kind of get a different perspective.
Yeah.
And there was like 4 or 5 of them. And like 3 of them were from 2015 and 2017.
Wow.
No, you would think somebody would do a show on that, like a podcast on how to help your podcast and do better.
Yeah.
And that's nationwide.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's like everything's like wide open.
Yeah.
So on as far as like with you trying to look at specifics now, do you want to do stuff like for real estate? Like, is it going to be, because here's what I'm trying to grab. I'm trying to get the vision of your podcast. And it may be something that you're still working on, but are you going to be like, was with the client and then something went down and then you want to just focus and,
Yeah, I don't mind touching on real estate a little bit. Again, I'm still learning every single day with real estate. Real estate is like nothing I've ever been in before.
But is it going to be like the Jazmine show, like mainly just about what you're thinking?
Yeah, it's kind of lifestyle, kind of touching on everything.
Not like business, not per se.
Not only that, I do want to touch on that a little bit, but again, I feel like there's so many different. I don't want to make it just one thing because I feel like there's so many different topics that I want to kind of touch base on a little bit. Again, with social media, with food, with fitness, with fashion, with entrepreneurship. Because again, I don't believe in having one stream of income. So there's a bunch, like now I'm starting to get into the cannabis industry. So I want to touch on a bunch of different things. So that's
that'll be cool. Yeah,
it's a very broad vision, but it's there.
I guarantee if you typed in Albuquerque cannabis, there's probably hardly anything.
Oh, no. Especially.
And that's I'm from Seattle. So Washington State was one of the leading pioneers, even before Colorado and all that. Washington State was kind of like, I mean, like you can go to Oregon and Washington now and they're growing in fields.
Oh, like
next to the freeway.
Oh, yeah. I have an investor that I've been in touch with here that's actually looking to buy a shitload of land here to grow. So, I mean, it's coming and it's big. And I feel like at some point it's going to be legal.
Oh, it will, yeah.
But for me, I've never really been into cannabis ever. Like I never smoked growing up. I was never like hiding from my parents, like none of that stuff, because my parents
like the stoner
my parents are very strict, very old fashioned.
Corn, none of that.
No, never that. So a few years ago my brother got cancer, and that's actually when we started to learn more about it. And I truly believe that that's what helped him get through, because he got leukemia. And I feel like that's what helped him get through chemo and all of the treatments that he was going through, because he was just under so much. That's the only thing that helped him. And that's when I started to learn more about it.
Not just help him emotionally and mentally, but it helped him physically.
Yes. And so I feel like there's a lot of benefits, and I'm sure it's a lot more popular now. A lot of people know that there's a lot of benefits to it, but you also have those people that just think it's like,
I love when grandma's buying CBD oil and stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
It's like, oh honey, like Trump supporters are putting it on their arthritis and stuff.
Yeah, like I feel like there's so many benefits to it. And again, there's not a lot, especially in Albuquerque, of people talking about it, or I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that smoke it, but there's not a lot of people that talk about it.
Everybody does, yeah. I mean, that's like something that, I've tried it once. This is funny. I've tried it once, and it was in like this little short glass pipe or whatever. I am so ignorant with this. It's horrific. And I couldn't breathe. Like I was dying.
God, yeah.
And then I had an edible once.
Okay.
And it just made me like super hungry.
Really?
So I'm like, I never want to do... I never want to do it.
You're like, never again.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
I was just kind of like antsy.
Yeah.
And I plowed through like a bag of chips and somebody had an ice cream bar or something.
Yeah.
And it tasted amazing.
You're like, I'll take that.
I will gain 40 pounds with this.
Oh, yeah.
I would be interested more probably in like
you
plant medicines. And
you got to know your strain. And I feel like there's a lot, especially my brother now, he's in remission now, but he is like a weed connoisseur now. Like he knows about it. But it helped him so much. I remember I went to a few chemo appointments with him, and the only thing that would stop him, because immediately whenever it would get into his system, he would start vomiting.
Sick, yeah.
And the only thing that would help him was THC. That was the only thing that would help him stop throwing up. Yeah, it's
people
literally.
People don't realize what chemotherapy is. It's killing the cells.
Yes,
it's trying to kill literally everything. Cells. It's killing everything,
good and bad.
And then hope that you're strong enough.
Yeah,
that you can have that 20% area.
Yeah. So chemo is rough, man. Cancer is just a different.
It hits everyone.
It's a beast, man. Yeah. It's a whole different ballgame.
It's all in our cells.
Yeah.
How old was he?
23.
Wow.
Or he found out the day before his 24th birthday, I believe. No. So, and they, we didn't know anything about it. We never had anybody in our family that had cancer like that. Yeah, he started to get symptoms of, you know, he was getting headaches and he was getting like bumps like on his neck and, you know, on his lower abdomen, and he didn't know what was going on. His gums started bleeding when he was brushing his teeth, and he's like, this isn't right.
Right.
So his wife convinced him to go get blood work done. And so he did, and they called him and they were like, you need to come into the emergency room right away. You know, you have cancer. So,
that's awesome that she did that.
Oh yeah, she was like, she's on it, man. She's so smart. She's on top of everything. I really gotta give her props for that. So yeah, and then. So
you think that that's a podcast right there?
Oh yeah, I truly believe that like that is the only reason why he made it through chemo all those years.
Yeah, because I mean, I know people just on the symptoms alone, as far as, you know, like the vomiting and stuff like that, like it cures that.
Oh yeah, he was getting migraines where you could literally see his temples like pounding. And, you know,
did he take oil or would you just smoke?
Yeah, he was doing, well, we literally everything. Like at that point we were like, you know, whatever it takes. Like it's not going to hurt. Like he's already in a sense like dying, you know, so it's like it's not gonna hurt to give it a shot.
Died of weed.
Yeah, exactly. Right, and we've heard so many benefits, and we even had nurses that were like, okay, off the record, you might want to try this, where it was like, you know, the tar, like the THC, it was like THC in its like purest form or something like that. Again, I don't know everything about it, but I do know some.
When they dab and stuff.
Yeah, like something like that. I don't know.
Gel or something.
Yeah, so it was like, you know, we were buying him everything, like try this, try that, and see what works. And that was the only thing that was helping, you know, with the pain. And because it was like, you know, leukemia, it's in your blood. So it's in his whole entire body. And they were injecting chemo into his spine and into his blood. So, and he had already had back problems before that. So it's like, it was having him all types of fucked up, and that was the only thing that was helping with that.
That's awesome. So you have a desire to get that out there more, to share that message.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like a lot of
help someone.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like a lot of people still have like misconceptions about, you know, weed, and so I feel like it's definitely something to tap into.
Jasmine's life.
Oh yeah, this is lifestyle. This is everything. This is life of Jazmine here. Okay,
we're talking cannabis.
I'm talking cannabis, real estate, entrepreneurship, Gucci. Like we're gonna cover it all. Okay.
Oh, that'll be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Fitness,
so is it going to be
like
mainly for your? Is it going to be mainly for your age group?
No. And you know what's crazy? I was actually looking at my analytics on Instagram, showing, and the people that interact mostly with me or that view my profile are a lot older than me. Yeah, so I mean, I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, Instagram is getting older. You know, like Facebook did that. Now Facebook's all like grandma and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Instagram started off with, you know, I always look at, Gary Vee talks about this, you know, like he's looking for platforms where like preteens are on.
Yeah.
Now like TikTok has become number one.
Yes.
And that was preteens, and now it's turned to teenagers. Yeah. You know, and now it's basically like Vine resurrected.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at platforms like Instagram's all moms, you know, in their 30s. So that's probably
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, a lot of my audience is any ages from like 24 to like 38.
Right.
So that's kind of like the age that I'm hitting right now. But again, I'm like, I want this to be like kind of relatable for like, not even just women, for male and female.
Right.
And to kind of reach everybody, like even a younger audience, to like kind of, you know, for me, like, growing up, I've had parents that are entrepreneurs. They're very successful, and it was kind of like I had everything handed to me my whole life. So as I got older, everyone thought it was going to be so easy for me, and I'm like, no, it's actually harder, because for me, learning like that work ethic and learning to push myself, because
I not relearn. I
had to learn it because I've always had everything handed to me, and I was always like, I've always felt like shit saying that, but I'm like, you know what? Like my parents worked their ass off to be able to do that for me, and I'm grateful. I'm very grateful, and I'm very blessed and fortunate. But as I got older, like learning to have that work ethic to keep up with the lifestyle that my parents gave me was so fucking hard. Like, and I'm still working at it. I'm still learning, but I'm just like trying to get it all out there, and I feel like I can't be the only one that went through that. I can't be the only one that grew up fortunate and had to learn, because like, you know, you're an adult and life hits you,
right?
You know, and it's hard. It's very hard.
I think it can help people too. I was listening to a podcast with the owner of the Houston Rockets, and he's like a multi-billionaire. He bought the Rockets for $1 billion or whatever. Yeah. And he was talking about his kids. The guy that was interviewing asked him. And so they're like, your kids are flying around in jets, and they use helicopters and all this stuff. And he goes, actually, I'm very particular with them on what they do when they purchase things. Yes. Like he goes, we can be, of course, I'm a billionaire, so we can be in St. Croix, but then at the same time, I'll tell my daughter that Louis Vuitton thing for 10 grand isn't really worth it. Mm-hmm. Can you get it somewhere else cheaper? Can we find a wholesale supplier?
No, my parents are literally the exact same way. And my parents have the means to literally do whatever they want. But they're always like, you know, they're still, you know, frugal, right. You know, so, and
but I think your generation needs to learn that. And that's what he's
absolutely.
Talking about. He's like, his daughter would get really upset because she's like, literally, we're the richest people in any party we go to.
Yeah.
But you're not going to allow me to buy a $5,000 bottle of champagne, Dad.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, no, how much is that bottle of champagne actually worth?
Well, it's like, is it necessary?
Yeah, is it necessary? Can you still have fun without, you know, taking your black credit card and, you know, spending 50 grand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So. I completely understand that. And, you know, I always had people, especially growing up, I remember that my dad actually, he had an employee and, I would, you know, of course I would go in, you know, ask dad for money, like, I'm going to go shopping or I'm going to go to this, whatever. Right. And my dad's like, yeah, here you go. Have fun, whatever. And this guy was like, dude, you're never going to work a day in your life. Like, you don't even have to lift a finger for anything. Like, and I don't know why that bugged me. I don't know why that bugged me so much. Like, now it doesn't bug me. I'm like, you know, I'm very blessed and I'm very fortunate to, you know, live the life that I live. I was so frustrated. I literally got a worker's permit at 14. I got a job at 14 years old because I was like, you know what? I am going to work. And why I did that was beyond me. But I was like, you know what? I am going to work and I am going to have a job and I am going to make my own money. You know, dude, I was making like minimum. You don't want to
be one of those like non-relevant people that just live off their parents' money.
Yeah.
And they really are like recluses and just hang out in a house.
Yeah.
They have no purpose.
Absolutely. And I didn't want to do that. And again, I've always been very outspoken and very, you know, so I'm kind of out there. So, yeah, I never wanted to do that. I always wanted to make a name for myself. You know, I watched my dad and my mom together. They opened up, you know, we grew up really poor actually. And then all of a sudden when I was like 10 years old, we moved to a bigger house and we got all these new cars. And I'm like, what's going on? You know, my parents bought a business and then bought more businesses and more houses and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, what is happening? And I watched them literally go from nothing they retired in 11 years. It took them 11 years to retire. And I was like, holy shit, like, this is unheard of. Like, this is insane, you know?
To go from nothing to 11 years.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? If my dad, my mom and my dad literally went from nothing to retiring in 11 years, me growing up the way that I grew up and I have all these resources, I'm like, I should be able to do the exact same thing.
Right.
I should be able to like surpass that. I should be able to like do more and be more.
Because you actually have have a structure and a little bit where they had nothing.
And I'm like, I have all of these resources. I'm like, so if I do nothing with it or if I don't accomplish anything, that's all on me.
Right.
They're literally like handing me everything, giving me all these resources, which is why I'm like, I'm putting so much into like everything that I do. I put my heart into everything that I do. Right. So if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, 100%. Right. I'm going to do it right the first time.
Well, that's why you go to the gym.
Yes.
Because, I mean, that's the whole...
Yeah.
There's no reason to go... Why would people go to the gym?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason unless it's a mental thing.
Yes.
I mean, of course, we like how we look.
Yeah.
But still, at the end of the day, it's that whole idea of you have to work.
It's so much more than just physical. Like, it's literally training your mind to be stronger than your excuses because you could go in and that shit hurts. Like, you're lifting weight that you've never lifted or doing a new workout. It's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Mm. You know, you might be doing something wrong. You don't know. A lot of people go into the gym. I've had people ask me, a lot of girls too, and even guys that are like, dude, I don't go to the gym because I don't know what to do. And I've been there. Like, I know what that's like. Yes. Yeah. So you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable and you're learning these and it fucking hurts. Right. Like, you're pulling weight you've never pulled before and like that shit hurts. Right, like, so it's training your mind to be stronger than your excuses. So if you could get through that physical pain and you're, growing physically or, reaching whatever goal you want to reach, losing weight, whatever it is, then I'm like, outside of that, like, you should be able to like, be stronger. Like, in my opinion.
I think that's a lot of people are, because like you had said earlier, they're looking for shortcuts. So
absolutely.
At the end of the day, they decide to say, okay, here's where we're at. Here's where I'm at. I want to build a business, and I've noticed this a lot with people. They will sacrifice. They feel like they need to sacrifice something to do something else. So the physical, mental, spiritual side, of all our three parts.
Yeah.
They'll sacrifice their physical to build a big business. So they won't take care of themselves. They eat like shit. And they'll work 15-hour days, get no sleep. And then you're like, no, you can do all of it.
Yeah, you can literally do all of it.
Yeah, you can go to the gym, have a successful business. No, you're not going to have a lot of time. Like I imagine you're that way. I'm that way. I'm very strict on my time.
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of time I don't remember the last time I watched a movie or a TV show unless I went to the movie. Yeah. A lot of times I'll go to the movies to watch something. But I've been wanting to watch this Joker movie for like...
Me too. I've been wanting... Yeah, I was just talking about that last night with a friend, actually.
I need to watch it before it goes out of the movies because I've really been waiting because I love Joaquin Phoenix. So, I mean, I figured that would be like a perfect role for him. You know, and I like the whole like almost crazy aspect of it. Right. I heard they had to get extra security and stuff. I mean, because they're worried about somebody. Yeah, like somebody.
I heard it's a little twisted, but like, is it weird that I'm like low key excited about that? Like, I'm kind of excited to like see what it's all about.
Yeah, everybody I've talked to said it's awesome.
Yeah, same.
And that there's not a lot of violence, or it's mainly.
I heard it's more like mental health than anything. Yeah.
So that sounds cool to me.
Same. I don't know why that's so interesting.
Maybe
but
because I'm not all there. Who knows? Yeah.
Same. I'm like.
But if you can grind it out in the gym. Yeah. And you can make these disciplines every day where you're eating right, that transfers over to your business side.
Oh, absolutely. I think that there's a direct correlation. I know somebody once told me, so I had opened up an Herbalife business actually a few years ago.
I think everybody has done that.
Yeah, everybody had to have done that at one point in their life. Like, I can't be the only one.
Those were back, I can remember back in the 80s.
My mom said that. She told me, she was like, I used to do this when I was younger. I was like, no, you didn't, Mom. It's new. No, you didn't. She's like, yes, I did.
They had them. They had Amway and Herbalife.
Herbalife, yeah.
Because I always picture like this old guy named Herb trying to sell you shit, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, so I had that, and I remember I was working like 13, 14, 15-hour days, and at that time my dad was like, dude, that's nothing. Like, I put in so much more work than that. But, somebody was like, you need to find a happy medium. Like, you're not going to have this rockin' hard body and then like be an entrepreneur at the same time. Like, it's just not going to happen. So you need to know that, there are going to be some times that you need to make sacrifices. But, I mean, I was listening to a podcast by Andy Frisella, the MF CEO. Yeah, he was talking about it, and he's like, dude, like, people are bragging about working 16, 17-hour days. He's like, when in all reality, like, I could fucking wake up at 8 o'clock and be done by 12 o'clock, and I've gotten more work done than you've gotten all day long.
Yeah, people will. Yeah, that's the part. It's how well you execute.
Exactly.
And then are you putting systems in place?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get into that, but you can outsource a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, absolutely.
For people, I have tons of stuff outsourced, and I pay them like $6-8 an hour. From all across the world. You know, why would I sit there and waste 2 hours doing this? I'm not going to edit this podcast. Yeah. I'm not going to, I can pay somebody $8 to edit it. Yes. That's a Starbucks coffee. Yeah. And it would take me probably 2 hours to edit this. Yeah. So I'm not going to waste my time.
When you could be, I completely understand that. I have somebody that
posts all my social media and they're going to post this. And I'm not going to, But
because you could be spending your time doing something else.
Yeah. And then that gives you, like you said, multiple streams of income. That gives you the opportunity to be able to really focus on things that are important. Like being one-to-one with people is the most important thing that I can do. Yeah. And then who I'm with.
Oh, absolutely.
That's very important to me. So, and what type of position am I in when I go there? And then how much research have I done on that person? But I can have somebody do the research for me. Yeah. And then type it all out for me. And then I have it sitting there so I know exactly who this person is. And that always gets me with you guys, especially in real estate or sales, why no one goes on the person's social media before they meet them.
Yeah, you should. I think you should. Absolutely.
It's like they're giving you all their information. Yep. You can look them up and you know what they look like. You know, I had a perfect example. I had a salesperson. They turned around and had looked on social media, and thank God they did. But they had lost their, 2 months before that, they had lost their 9-year-old daughter. Oh, no. So if you would have went on, and they were like posting all the time on Facebook, especially the mom, of course. Oh, yeah. But now, how are you going to approach them? If you wouldn't have looked, how would you approach them? Yep. And then if you looked on social media, how would you approach them?
Oh, yeah. You need to know who you're talking to, like, all the time. And you need, I think the biggest thing is being adaptable. Right. Like, you need to know, like, again, not only know who you're talking to, but be able to talk to them on a level that they understand. Because if you're, like, see, I could talk to you like this and it's fine because you understand what I'm saying. Right. But let's say I can't talk to somebody else, like, that's... I don't know.
No, you want to be, you like somebody that is like extremely religious. Let's say.
Yeah, and I'm talking to them.
Use the F word.
They're gonna look at me like, I do not want to do business with you. Yeah, they're like, I do not want to do business with you. You know, so you need to know your audience, know who you're talking to. Right. And again, I'm not for everyone, and I know I'm not for everyone, and I'm okay with that. But the people that I am for, like, I feel like this is going to be really good. I feel like,
and your podcast isn't going to be for everyone either.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely not.
Yeah. So it's going to be the same thing, and You're going to get haters.
Yeah, which is
but
fine.
You probably get that anyway.
I'm like, I've literally, and I'm like, I was talking to someone about that a couple weeks ago, that I'm like, I've learned to deal with that, because before it used to get to me where I would like be crying to my mom, like, you know, this person was saying this, or these people were talking about me, or I got jumped, or this happened, you know, whatever. Right. And I'm like crying about it, and I've learned to deal with it in a way. It's like
jumped, like for a fight.
Yeah, I've been jumped multiple times. Why is beyond me?
Shit?
It's yes, unfortunately.
Like what is this?
Unfortunately, it is. So I'm like,
is there like girl fights going down all the time?
Yeah, it's a thing.
I still haven't made it to the salt yard yet.
Oh,
but I've
Lord.
heard there's lots of. Is that where's the fighting place around here? I mean, where people are getting drunk and being.
Honestly,
downtown?
I feel like downtown is. I don't go out for those reasons. One, I'm not big on going out in general.
Right.
It's not really my thing. I feel like I could just be doing other shit. You know? But
more proactive.
Yeah, it's not really my thing. But
downtown is the place to go.
I feel like it is. I mean, again, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not my scene. Yeah, it's not my scene.
I've never been down there. Somebody was trying to invite me to there's a club down there.
Cake.
No, it wasn't that. I heard about that one because a guy did the promotions that I know. But
yeah, I've been to Cake one time. It was actually Brian Luna's 40th birthday party. He owns Integrity Automotive, and he had like the first like party opening thing there, and I went to that. It was pretty cool because it was like invite only.
Right, and then you know who it was.
Yeah, and I pretty much knew a lot of the people there, which is nice.
I think it's a gay club or something.
Effects.
Yes. And I never went to that.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan, to be honest with you, but to each their own.
Right. Well, do you need something, Byron? Byron from 99.9 The Beat is in here.
Hi.
FM. Did you leave him in here? You left your phone in here earlier. So we got to stream 99.9. What's the website, Byron?
99thebeatfm.com.
Yeah, there you go. We have you're getting thousands of streams, but it's today's. He's changed. If you streamed it and then you cut it off, now the music is Byron has gone in there and played with the playlist. I saw this morning there was some you had the Commodores, right. You had Cardi B. What's that DJ
Khaled?
Yeah. You had him in there, and then on top of it, you had who else was in there? Ludacris.
Yep.
So
Sierra.
Yeah, Sierra. Yeah. So that was awesome.
So I put my own playlist in.
And then what happens in the afternoons, like at lunchtime? You have something like
it's the lunchtime mix.
Yeah, and that's like the lunchtime mix is 90s or
he goes everywhere. He'll go disco. He'll go old school hip hop. He goes all over the place.
I love
it. We have it at our business just streaming. Mm-hmm. So that's what I encourage people to do. All business owners in Albuquerque support minority-owned, not-for-profit radio station. How many minority-owned, not-for-profit radio stations are in Albuquerque? None. Exactly. So, and if you're a business and you're looking at a tax deduction and you want to get, because we're going to put this out there, and you're wanting to get some commercials made, then you can contact. What's the best way to contact you, Byron? Just go to the website?
You can go to the website, go to contact us, or just call me direct.
Okay, perfect. And then your number's on there?
All over the place.
Yeah. Or you can just type in Byron Padrell, like the barbecue. And you're on Facebook, mainly. What have you been getting tagged on Facebook? I looked yesterday. I didn't even know on my Facebook. I was getting tagged by this. I got to cut the tags off.
Yeah, I have it now where people have to request.
I mean, I don't mind that, but
tagged.
It was like all South American stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, how am I? Is this all on my feed?
Yeah.
Well, you'll show me everything.
Yeah. No, I get a lot of tags too, so now I actually have it where people have to request like to be able to tag me in something. So I have to approve it or deny it.
I need to figure where that button is.
Yeah. Oh no, I learned that a long time ago because I get tagged in some crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm like, I do not need this popping up on my social media.
What if somebody's drunk or something and then they...
Yeah, it's a bad time.
Well, I can't get tagged.
Like an ex from 10 years ago.
I can't get tagged in the 420 of we're federal.
Yeah, that's federal. Yeah. We just talked about that with cannabis. Like it's illegal to have any types of promotions or anything on the marijuana side on a federal radio station.
Right.
Because this is like federal ground.
The web, for right now, unless they make that neutrality change, you can do pretty much what you want. But if the Republicans have their way, you're not going to be able to do nothing. Everything's going to be checked.
Yeah, especially because federal, it's still illegal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's a friend in Washington State has a problem. He has pallets of money sitting there because you can't put it into a bank, and so you have to pay people with cash. Yeah. But after like 9,000 or 10,000, you have to fill out a form.
Yep.
A federal form for cash. So there's literally just sitting there.
Yeah.
So we'll go up there.
We can pay him a visit.
No, he's got like state of the art security and like I mean, it's not playing around. They have to because they have biker groups come in and try to steal everything in the warehouses because they know that. Oh, yeah. So biker groups are the worst as far as...
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. We don't want to talk about gangs or nothing. I don't need to... Like last, Alex and I were talking about that. We're like, no, don't want to be put in a barrel with acid. We love all you guys.
Yeah. I love everyone.
Yes, everyone. Next thing you know, yeah. That's cool. Well, we're almost done here. What is your Instagram again so everybody can follow you?
jv.trujillo. And
you're going to post on there when you make your first podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be advertising everywhere.
Let's put this out there. So when is I'm going to hold you accountable. When is your first podcast? Do you want a month, 2 months? How long? Probably
a month, only because I need to order everything.
Right. So you want to give yourself 30 days?
Yeah, I want to give myself 30 days to kind of like...
30? You don't want to do like 60?
No. I'm ready to go, man. I'm like, all gas, no brakes. Like, I have this idea in my head. This is something that I've been thinking about doing for a long time. So it's not something like, I just thought about, out of the blue and decided to do. No, I put a lot of thought into this. Like, again, it's like, can I be successful in this? Am I able to do this? Like, do I have enough content to push out? And I'm like, hell yeah, I do. Like, I come up with shit every day.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I have a lot of stuff that I want to put out there. So,
yeah. And if you want to do like 5-10 minute rants.
Yeah. And again, it's like when... I don't really know when the right time is going to be. So I figure everything that I do, I'm like, again, like even going into real estate, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but like, I got to do it dirty. Like you just got to do it. And the only way I'm going to get better is just hands-on actually getting down there and doing it. Actually doing it. So like with this, actually doing it is the only way where I'm going to get better and grow.
So we're going to follow your journey here. We'll post it and then we'll share. I'll share it on the social media once you get your first one out.
Yeah.
And get some subscribers. And
yeah, have to. Come on, Mom. Fun. Thanks. Thanks, Mom. Once I teach her how to download it to her phone.
Yeah, see, you already have outsourcing.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, grab everybody's phone. And here's what you can. Here's the number one thing you can do for me. Click.
Oh, no, I will literally take everybody's phone. I'm like, let me show you. Come here.
Yeah, I just got this new thing. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen these?
Yes, I have. This guy at our company at our brokerage actually has one of those, but it's like gold and black. It's so dope. I'm like, I need one of those.
Yeah, but it puts everything in their contacts.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go like tapping everyone's phone.
Yeah, and it puts the Instagram, it puts your Facebook, your Snapchat, your email.
Yeah, those are so cool.
Yeah, I just got it and I was like,
I want to get one of those. Those are cool.
They had them on there for, I think it was like $10.
I feel like they're good like conversation pieces too.
Yeah. I feel because I did it with Byron.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Yeah. And then you can get everything on there. Well, cool. Well, perfect. Well, thank you, Jazmine. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to follow this journey. We're going to watch it. And if there's any business owners out there, DM me. If you have a question about starting a podcast, we'd be more than happy to help you on that, especially here in Albuquerque. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thank you to our sponsor, DukeCityMarketing.com. Please go to abqpodcast.com where you can get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner in Albuquerque.